Can't get comfy. I got my coffee with what did I put in it? Some sort of caramel thing in it. If anyone didn't know, if anyone's new, I am actually a fan of Star Wars, but the old ones. I like the new ones, but the old ones. And my favourite is obviously Chewbacca. I got this, my son mailed this a couple of years ago, but I really got it for myself. But my youngest son's got it now. Chewie. And if any of you have seen that woman in America who was on YouTube who did the Chewbacca mask, don't know if anyone's seen it, where she's laughing with it on because it makes the Chewbacca noise, sort of growling noise. And it's really funny. I love that. I'm just trying to get comfy. Summer solstice today, which is really good with the cute people out there. Dark to light. I can't actually remember the cue drop for that, but what was it? Something about heat and see if I can get it up on my phone before I start. Because it is like bring the heat, you know. You lot who know about it know about it. I'm not gonna go through my phone, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more suicides before this weekend. Probably is. Probably haven't heard of them with all that's going on. But yeah, may the force be with you. I've actually got this. If anyone knows what this is, I can't remember the name for it, and it's supposed to be what do you call it? A gemstone, but the one that was supposed to be from a meteorite. I can't remember what the name of it's for. Is green. It is. Can't remember. But I was just gonna have a bit of chat about space and stuff and aliens and just mad things like that, just for a bit of fun and just see what people think about certain things about space, seen as Trump has did his speech on the Space Force. And it is an interesting subject anyway. Not that I've really ever believed in NASA before. Certain stuff they said they were doing, I don't believe they were. Because, you know, Trump is saying now they're bringing NASA back. Let me see. I wrote some notes down somewhere, not that I ever really taken a notice. Let me see. Nope. Oh, I thought I did. I've just wrote something down somewhere and now I don't know where it is. Where did I put it? Oh, hopefully I'll just remember what I was talking about. Let me just check again. Well, basically, he's bringing NASA back with a boom, and you know what do you have in America? You have the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guards. You know, the military wants to bring all that back. Like, you have your police force, but he also wants the space force as well, which I think is brilliant as well, because it's a bit like, where have I wrote this down somewhere. I bet I'm looking at it. No, I think I've dropped a note of what I was going to say. Basically, to have an American dominance in space, which I think is a good thing, because if it's by Trump, I think it's a good thing. If it was by Obama or Hillary, I wouldn't think it was a good thing. They'd probably be blasting you from space and child trafficking in space as well, and all that sort of stuff. Might throw that on the end of this actually, about something I saw before. But yeah, it's quite exciting about Trump and his. I'm still looking. Let me see if it's on here. Space exploration. New horizons to explore, which I don't really believe they were doing before. I think they were using the money for other things. That's what I think personally. But can you imagine a space force? Can you imagine people wanting to like go to the training camps to learn how to be a space trooper? Which just got me back to like Star Wars, because when you watch them films, space troopers and stuff like that, or any sort of like space films, you just imagine it. It's just really good. Oh, hi. I've not seen you for ages. I just think it's just amazing that Trump's doing that. Even so, people are not really liking Trump, but I think it's amazing that they're going to have a space force. I think it's brilliant. We should be exploring. Like I said, I don't really think NASA has been exploring anything. I think they've been paid a lot of money to sort of sit about and be fake with stuff. That's what I think. A lot of people on YouTube talk about flat Earth and all that, and it doesn't bother me at all. I don't know why people get so mad about it. I could see why people say it's flat. I can see why we say it's a globe. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't really be bothered. If it was flat, I wouldn't be bothered. I don't really see that there's going to be a massive difference. Well, we've been lied to if it is, but like, oh well, it's flat then. And if we are spinning on a globe, we're spinning on a globe. I don't know. I don't know what people think out there, if they're all for the flat Earth theory or whatever. I don't know, but I don't know. I just think it's amazing that this will start, and they'll be exploring space properly. And not only that, I think it's the technology that they'll be able to use, and technologies and things that might come from out of space, like different sort of energies that we'll be able to use, like free energies, which is funny enough. Someone just messaged me before, and I was quite amazed that I don't know, this person had actually mentioned it, because I have heard of it before and I have seen people doing YouTube videos on it. And that is, when I was talking about the pyramids before, about free energy, as in electric, free for everybody. Um, you know. Oh, yeah, someone said Amanda was here the other day, but it doesn't come up on my chat. I don't know why. So if you're there, Amanda, hi, but I can't see you. I don't know if you have to refresh or something. It's done that to me before, but you're not coming up. I haven't blocked you, so it's a bit odd. Is there anything on? Non-hide all chat messages. Live chat messages are of you. Oh, hi, old crow. Well, you just have to listen to Amanda. I don't know what it is, if anyone knows what it is. I haven't took you off it or anything. Yeah, I was just talking about so because Trump is doing the Space Force, I think it's really great. And I was just wondering what people's thoughts and opinions were on space. Do you think there's something out there? Because I do, because I just think of what we've been told anyway. The galaxy's massive, and I just think. No, I can't see a comments. It's really weird. I'll have to ask somebody about that. That's why I haven't comment. That's why I haven't said anything, Amanda, because I can't see your comments, and I don't know why. It's weird. I haven't knocked you off anything, so I'm sorry. I'll have to look into it and find out if anyone knows, but I'll carry on. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so I just think it's interesting because I don't think I think there's got to be something out there, even if it's light years away. There's got to be. It can't only be us here. I don't think it's us here. I've heard lots of things. I've heard that up in space, there's little, I don't even know what you call them, like stars are, like souls. They move like this, and they move about. And I've seen funny videos with that sort of stuff in it. I do believe there's energies and stuff out there. But yeah, this guy messaged me and said he didn't say much more on it because I think he said he was out. But there's free energy that we could all use, free electric. And I did see a video on that. Hi. I did see a video on that once. Well, it was only a few days ago actually, where they were talking about the pyramids and how they think we've been told a few porcupines about it, and that it actually was some sort of conductor. Amanda's a lot then. It was actually a conductor for electric way back. So we had energies and stuff way back. Too many cultures and too many religions are too many philosophies agree that there is more than just us in the universe. Oh yeah, I definitely believe there's more than us, even if there's things that are sort of like invisible, like energies and entities and stuff like that are in a different sort of realm, or how would you put it, like if we're living in 3D, then there's a 4D and a 5D, because I've heard people talking about that. If we live in 3D, we can't see beyond the 3D, but there's a 4D. Just because it's not there, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Like when they say dogs can hear stuff we can't hear, they know it's there. We can't hear it, but it doesn't mean it's not there. And talking about Old Crow with the spirits and ghosts and stuff like that, I watched someone the other day. Yeah, fourth D is time. Oh, fourth D is time. And someone else, yeah, not invisible, like when we see something out the corner of your eye. Yeah, and I saw someone's channel the other day. There's a guy who has a box and he holds onto it and he speaks to the, people who have passed. But because it's electric, and I know that old crow, I know that I do think that because they're energy, spirits of energy, they can travel through and use electric to talk and travel through an entire other dimension, that envelope. Yeah, I think there is. We can't see it around us, but it's there. But I think they go through electric. Like, I don't know what the guy's. Let me see if I can find him on my phone. He did one where he got hold of. If you're following the Q thing and the Trump thing and people who commit suicide lately, is it. What's his name? Badone? Who's the guy that hung himself? Badane? I can't remember his name. He got hold of him, and I tell you what, the voice that came through did really sound like him. And it's very. Let me just see if I can. I don't know if anyone knows of him. He holds a box that he made himself. He made it for years. Let me see if it's on my history. I don't know what the paranormal something it's called. That's what I mean. Nobody ever sees the wind, but you know it's there when you feel it. Like, you can't see air, but you know it's there. I think he's called Paranormal. Paranormal. Don't know. Let me see if I can quickly find him. Because if you don't know of him, everyone who's into that might quite like his channel. He's called. But his boxes, obviously, he's got electrical things on it and crystals and things like that, like a conductor to talk through, because he says, I think Old Crow will know as well, that when he switches the radio on, he messes with it, so they start tuning through a voice. We feel and hear the wind, yeah, and then it picks up, and they can use that to talk through. Right, it's not that one. Where is this guy? Has anyone seen him on YouTube? He holds a box. Oh, keep getting messages. Let me see if I can find him quickly. He is called... don't think I'm going to find him. It might... oh, there he is. Huff Paranormal. Show you.
Wanting to leave a message on Earth right now.
This guy.
What does that mean to you? What is the light? What does the light, when you mention the light, what does that mean to you? What is the light?
I know old Crow knows what I mean. You probably couldn't hear that properly. Ultraviolet light is around us all the time. We don't see it, but there. Yeah, I think that. Hi, Last Scout Radio. Hello. But yeah, he uses a box to channel the spirits through it, and I do think, I do think they can do that. I think I'd be too scared to do it, but I do believe they can talk that way, and it's quite a good channel actually. So it's Huff. Did I say Huff Paranormal? But it is very good. But the other person that texted me before about Egypt and the because that's why I'm wondering if the Illuminati used, the whole pyramid thing. Call your name out on command. I know I've seen some of yours on your... you can get an app, can't you? Are the apps real though? That's what I wonder. Typho channel, I like you, Brick. Oh, Brick Girl is a... Brick Girl's good. Yeah, somebody said, don't think they'll mind me reading it out. I'll have to find it. Hang on a minute. Don't want... watched a video where it proves the pyramids were free electric for everyone, and that's what I've seen as well. And I do believe there's something. I believe, and this is just a bit of fun. So if people come on going, oh God, it's just a bit of fun because we're talking about, because of the Space Force that Trump's got going now, which is really great. I just thought I'd talk a bit about space and aliens and different things just for a bit of fun to see what people think. But I do think we've been told some porcupines and that sorry, I keep getting messages going off, and that the pyramids were used for something totally different. I think they put certain things in there to make it look like, oh, we can all go visit in there and it's this, that and the other, and look at these tunnels where they go down here to where they were all buried with the gold and blah blah blah. Maybe gold was used as a conductor, I don't know, but I do believe it was something totally different to what we've been told it was. And it would not surprise me if it was some sort of energy and electric. I do actually think that. Yes, electricity is free. Exactly. They've always said that thing out there, oh, free energy for the world, free energy, everlasting energy, and I do believe it's electric. It's like solar power and all that. Everyone should have that anyway, and we shouldn't have to pay for it. It's from the sun. So were the pyramids pointing up to the sun to use that to, I don't know, some sort of solar system they had going? Was it something like that? I don't know. But do you believe in aliens? What does everyone think? Do you think they're like what we see pictures of, or do you think they're sort of transparent energy, electrical things? Does anyone believe in them? Uranium pools. I think they had a lot of things. They're just hiding things and making it into something else. So we all go paying money to go there looking at something totally different to what it was, I think. Yeah, there's got to be smarter beings than us. I think, and I'm just putting this out there because I've seen some videos on it, not saying this is true, because it's fun as well. I think, you know, you've seen films like The Fifth Element and all that, and that was around something they found around the pyramids and this like that. Hi, T. Lee Jones. I think there was a sort of species then that were sort of, well, were more intelligent than us and had more technology then. Yeah, star people had more technology then that we knew of. And then I don't know what happened to them, but it left us sort of like having to start again, or stuff hidden from us, because I think there's a lot of technology being hidden from us. We are not human. This is not our planet. Yeah, I've heard that before. Oh, it's the Doom Show, The Last Train Out. That's what you've said. Yeah, there's all that as well in when I've been looking at spiritual things, saying we're not human. We're like spiritual beings in a human shell. So we're not of this planet. We are star people anyway, because we are from the stars. If you think of the Big Bang, we were all came from. Who did a story on it? It was something like, because we all came from different star systems. We are all from stars, and that's why there's lots of different races and stuff, because we're all from different star systems. Something like that. I quite like that idea. We get sunburned, other animals. Yeah. True, really. We shouldn't really get sunburned, because if we were put on this earth with the sun, we should have, yeah. But yeah, I've seen them videos and I find them really intriguing and really interesting. And like I said in my last video before, nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. If a load of truth came out and said blah blah blah, nothing would surprise me. Because I always think that, why are we here? Where are we from? Why are we here? That's what everyone always thinks. And if you think how big the universe, the galaxy is supposed to be, it's like, really, we can't be the only ones on the planet. Even if, I don't know, what do you think about parallel universes and all that and stuff like that? I just find it interesting. Do you believe that aliens, extra, do you believe they look like what people are saying? They look like multi-universe. Yeah, probably a universe in a universe in a universe. Do you believe that aliens look like what, when people say they've got abducted, and the sort of normal sort of alien, that you see today on cartoons and stuff, with the big head and the big eyes? Do you believe they look like that? That sort of, that's put out there all the time. Because they say the greys, and does anyone, I know some people think this guy's really mad, but funny enough, a lot of his stuff has come out to be true to this day now of what's going on. Many different kinds of aliens. Yeah, I think there's different races. If we want to get into all this and the things I've seen, different races, Anunnaki. Now you're on the right track, girl. Cheers, my friend. The Unaki, I know I'm not saying it right. And David Icke. I know some people think David Icke is a nutcase, but the thing is, with all the stuff I've been talking about lately, look at our ancestors dressed as animals. Look at the skulls they found with the big long elongated skulls. And when you see pictures sometimes of the aliens with longer heads, so to me they'd be more brainy, because the skulls were quite big, so they must have had, I don't reckon they had peanut brains, I reckon they were very intelligent. These, and was it the crystal skulls as well? They have very long heads. And then what they called, I watched a video the other day of the Egyptians, when they had these hats on like this, but someone said, did they wear them hats because they were actually covering up that long, elongated skull? Because with that long hat on, you wouldn't really see that. You'd just see, your face looking normal, but you wouldn't actually see, because they were quite long, different to ours. Yeah, not human. Because we could have had, when you think of Stargate, I used to watch it years ago. I haven't watched it a lot, but I used to watch bits of it, and did they bring Stargate the movie out? And I was watching something a few months back where they'd gone somewhere, obviously in the Stargate, and it was at the pyramids. And in the pyramids was one of the. He was quite a bad guy, but it makes you think: were they using technology in the pyramids? You know, because they say with all the conspiracy things that's going on now, and if you're on the same wavelength as me, we know about, you know, Q and Trump and things that are going on. Conspiracies are truth. The CIA made the word conspiracy up years back to call us all nutcases. If people were finding truth out, they'd say, oh, it was just a conspiracy theory. So aliens is always a conspiracy theory. You know, all these stories that people talk about are conspiracies, but are they? Because what we know, conspiracies are true. So I think when someone's come across something, you know, they've been shut up or murdered or whatever, or it's been told it was a conspiracy, so you're seen as a nutcase, so no one will believe you. So people like David Icke, which is really funny now because there's a lot of things David Icke has said. The powers that be have lied to us about everything. Oh, definitely, and this is in all with the conspiracy theories that I've been talking about lately. Yeah, David Icke has spoke for years about certain stuff, and people thought he was a nutcase because some of the things he says sounds like he's mad. But funny enough, a lot of the stuff he was saying then, now it makes sense to what's going on. What I've been finding about with all the conspiracy theories and the elites and the Illuminati and all this satanical stuff that's going on, and people think David Icke's a nutcase, but actually he's not. And people think he was a nutcase because there were certain things he was talking about. People were like, yeah, maybe we know about that. And then he was talking about reptilians. Now, I've seen lots of videos on this about the reptilian energies, or there's reptilians walking about us, or our pineal gland. I saw a video on something to do with the pyramids again. The pyramids come up a lot all the time. That's why I think there's something going on with the pyramids. And someone said, is it the Eye of Horus? Is it Horus? Your pineal gland. Something about your chakras, your spinal cord, your DNA, the secretion or something that goes up your spine. If people know what I'm sort of talking about, you might not. Goes up. You've got like Christ consciousness in your pineal gland, and the shape of that from the side looks a bit like a serpent. So that could be the reptilian inside you if you sort of, I don't know, sort of get overtaken by evilness at all. I can't sort of remember how they said it, but it sort of made sense. All these weird things are out there. Some of them have got to be true or on the lines of something, if you know what I mean. I don't know if anyone saw that. It was something to do with, well, there's something going on with pineal glands anyway, with all these satanic things I've been finding out about as well. Reptilians were the slave race of the Anunnaki, do I say it? I can't say it right. That were left here because of the inability to mine Earth's atmosphere. So are we the Anunnaki, or were they left here and they're here controlling us? Ooh, Satan. Yeah, open your pineal gland. Well, that's why when you drink a lot of water from the tap, it's got fluoride in it that calcifies your pineal gland. Because if you want to go off on the, because we're just going to go off everywhere here, because everything will just go into everything. It's just a bit of fun, you know. And those of us believe, and those of us who just come on in and have a bit of a discussion and a bit of fun, it's just a bit of fun. But they say when you're meditating and stuff like that, and if you can open your pineal gland, because some people say don't open it, it's dangerous. Some people say open it. I think the people who are saying don't open it are the ones who don't want you to open it, because it's bringing you to what we are. And if you open it fully, because I'll tell you a story in a minute, you can go off to different levels of consciousness and outside to different realms and stuff like that. Yeah, I drink distilled water. I've actually got a machine that I've just done some water. Actually, let me go and get it actually. I just did some before in this big jug, blue jug. It's just cooling, but I drink distilled now because I can't stand the smell of fluoride, and they say that calcifies your pineal gland, which if it calcifies it, it's not working properly. You're not, the consciousness, you're not using it, you're not awake properly. I think that also going back to Egyptians, the Eye of Horus and all that, I think that's the pineal gland. I think they were talking about using the pineal gland and how you can use it to our advantage and opening different things up to ourselves. Yeah, they say that if you open it fully, you can go a little crazy. Because I think I've heard some people saying, I don't know, if you open it fully, you've got to be aware that there can be great things, but there can be bad entities that try to come in, so you've got to protect yourself. Apparently, some people say if you are protected by the light, you know, heaven, God, Jesus, whatever you say, then you're quite fine. There's all these different videos on different things. Some people don't say open it, but I think when you're getting someone say don't do something, like mainstream media lie, trying to get you not to do something, I think it's because they don't want the majority of the masses finding out some of the things to the universe, if you want to call it. Yeah, they say that about meeting your karma, so you can get, you know, it can be quite bad that way. But yeah, I've heard lots of things, but it always seems to go back to the pyramids. What I've seen, the pyramids. Hi. I think it always goes back to the pyramids. It's just even the Trump video to Kim Jong-un, if anyone saw it, was it called Destiny? That had the pyramids in it. I just think people talk a lot about the pyramids. Even some other channels I've been watching in Speaker's Corner, they have a lot of Egyptian stuff on. It just intrigues me because I think, what's really going on there, sort of thing. Do you think the pyramids were under the ocean before this, or the sand? They could have been, because another video I watched was talking about the pyramids and Atlantis and saying it was underwater, and Atlantis was quite a big place. So I do watch a lot of videos, and I'm just like, you just don't know what's what, because there's that many of them. Some people might have parts right and parts wrong. Some people might have all of it right. Someone said, how do you Mexicans feel about the wall? I said, we'll get over it. Well, my little thing on the wall is not that I'm really going to talk about this, is all countries need to have a wall to be for protection. And if people want to come in, immigrants to come in, they come in with something, but you do it legally. And that's fine. If you do it legally, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's people who are doing it illegally, bringing things in that we don't want in the country, guns and drugs and kids being trafficked and stuff like that. So everyone should have a wall, basically. That's not saying no one can come in, and no one's for people from other countries moving into another country. Bring something, you know, work, what you're going to do, blah, 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 and do it legally. And then, like, what's the problem, everybody? You know, all these people going on in America trying to slag Trump off all the time, and he's only doing what should have been done ages ago. We wouldn't have all these problems. But I might talk about that at the end. But pyramids were an alien thing. One went missing 100 years ago. What a pyramid went missing. It's just funny that pyramids have always, like in the Stargate series and film, it was the pyramids, wasn't it? The pyramids are always brought up in a lot of stuff. I've never been there. I've never been to Egypt to look, but there was something I was watching the other day. We have pyramids in Napa, I can see, covered by soil and vegetation. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got pyramids in Antarctica or something, because that's all covered in snow. Not that you'd know. And from above you can't see if it's NASA doing it because it's covered in snow. But someone somewhere in these, is it May? Oh, what begins with M? I can't remember what they're called. In the jungle somewhere where they had these special, like, bolt things that connected the stones up, were found there, and at the pyramids as well, like way apart from each other. Yeah, I think there are pyramids all over the world. Because what are the ones in the jungly type place called? What's that called? I believe those pyramids here in Kentucky, covered in soil. I think there is because I reckon there was pyramids dotted about everywhere. Maybe years back. Maybe this is just my theory. Just thinking about it now, that the world had pyramids all over where there was people living, situated in different countries, whatever. Your source of energy was electric or whatever, and everyone had the free source of this energy to, for whatever. But when maybe the Great Flood or something came, I don't know, maybe they went under the water and then time's gone by again, thousands of years. The sea level's gone down, the pyramids have come up, but some have stayed, in certain areas, maybe the land was higher, they've come up, and the other ones are still underground. I don't know. Yeah, like chemtrails, because people don't see chemtrails. I've seen chemtrails in the UK. We don't have as many as America, because I've seen your skies are really like bombarded in some areas, but we have had them here. But lately, for about quite a few weeks, it's been quite good. Um, maybe when God was a baby, those pyramids were his building blocks. Yeah, well, the only funny thing is I did have to go and buy the, you know what, I had to read it. There were certain things in there at the beginning, and I thought, but I do know books and things and scriptures, I do believe bits have been taken out. They've been changed around. They've gone missing. I've heard of the book of, I've actually got it actually. Where was it? The book of, there's just a lot of books I got just because I wanted to see what was in it. The Book of Enoch, and some people call Jesus, is it, I'm going to say this wrong, yeah, something beginning with Y. Is it Hebrew or something? I can't remember. I watch that much stuff. I'm just like, Yetwa, Yeshu, I'm sure there's someone out there who knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, the pineal gland thing. A few months back, I think I did talk about this. I was meditating and stuff. I've not done it for a bit. And I did say this in a past video. And I went to bed and my mum was staying over, and she was sleeping on the floor on this thing on the floor. And I just remember breathing quite heavily, and when you close your eyes and it's dark, but it's like you can see into the darkness, even though your eyes are closed, if you get what I mean. And I just felt dead relaxed, and like I could hear my breathing and dead relaxed, but I was awake, but had my eyes closed. And the next minute, it was like I was going through a tunnel, which to me is what I think a worm tunnel would be. I know this sounds mad. With all lights going around it like this, like sort of neon lights. And it was like I was travelling through it, and I did think, oh my God, this is weird. And I could wake myself up at any time because I wasn't asleep as such. I knew I was sort of not asleep, if you know what I mean. Still breathing, could still hear me breathing, deep breathing, dead relaxed. Looked out of this worm tunnel, because to me it was like I was in space. I was in a worm tunnel, travelling down this worm tunnel thing, and you were at the alpha level of your brainwaves. You can reach this level to manifest. Well, I was there, and I looked out of the side of the worm tunnel, and there was like a planet. And to me, it felt like it was planet Earth. Yeah, well, they say build, don't they? And it was like, it was so green and it was so lush. I think it's because I was watching things about the new Earth and going to a new planet, but it felt like what I was looking at was Earth, but it it was so bright with such a big massive light around it, clean, fresh, glowing light, and everywhere was really, really green. And I just remember thinking, that's how I want Earth to be, like helping it to be more green and be, you know, instead of cutting down loads of forests and the stuff we do to the planet and stuff like that. I don't know. And then I can't remember what happened then, but in the morning, and I felt very peaceful and happy as well. In the morning, I told my mum and I said, "Oh God, I felt really really relaxed." And it was like, and she said, "Well, that's really weird because I was sort of half asleep, half awake last night." And she went, and I felt just dead relaxed, but I was awake, but I had my eyes closed. She just felt the same. I don't know if she said she went through but it was a nice feeling. But I've heard sometimes if you do that, you can get bad entities that come in sometimes. Because I guess there's always good and bad about. But the alien thing, UFOs, I have seen UFOs because to me they were unidentified. I don't know what they were. Someone might have said, if someone was with them, they might have said, no, you know, that's a, whatever it was. But I've seen at night time about 3 times, I've looked up and seen some stars, and I've been staring at them. I thought, is that my eyes? And it's been after midnight, and then it's moved. But instead of moving, if it was a plane, it would move like that, and it'd have flashing lights. This was at night, no flashing lights. It just looked like an orb, and then instead of going straight, it went like zigzag. The zigzag men, I call them. I have seen that before. So to me, that was an unidentified flying object. I'm not saying it was an alien. I'm just saying it was unidentified. I don't know what it was. It wasn't flying in a straight line. Anyway, that was at night. Yeah, double stars. And I've seen in daylight, only a couple of months ago, sat in the garden. It's when it was a bit cloudy and chemtrails, and the moon was out in the day. Was another orb, really, really high up. I could not see that it had wings on it, so it didn't look like an aeroplane. It was very, very shiny silver, and it didn't have anything coming out the back of it. And then all of a sudden it did, but it went like that. The stuff in a dip. So that was a bit weird because planes don't go like that. I've seen 2 of them because one of them I thought it was a helium balloon, like really, really high up, but it wasn't because it was round. Yeah, people slap the kids for telling lies. And then the really weird one was I was in the garden, I had my sunglasses on, and I thought it was a speck on my sunglass. And I was sort of cloud watching, you know, when you watch for shapes and stuff. Because I'd heard about people talking about sylphs. I think it's sylphs that clean the chemtrails up. If anyone's heard of that, where they look like wispy entities, like a cloud but wispy. And funnily enough, they do go near the chemtrails, and they do go. That's what it looks like anyway. And I was sort of looking out for this, and then there was a cloud, and I thought there's something behind the cloud. And I took my glasses off, and I was like, and it was a circle behind the cloud, but I don't know what it was. And it wasn't you know, a circle that way, like hovering. It was that way, you know, a circle. It wasn't the sun because that was out I could see, and it wasn't the moon. And it wasn't bright, it was just looked like something very dim behind a cloud. And I was like, oh, it's my sunglasses. Took them off, and I was like, no. And I thought, is it my eyes? You know, when you get a spot sometimes when you've been looking at the sun. It wasn't that, it was just sort of there. And it wasn't like solid, or it didn't look solid because it was behind the cloud, and it was very, very faint, but there was a circle, and it was a proper circle. So that was a bit odd. But I have seen videos with people talking about things traveling in clouds so we can't see them. And that's why I wondered when Q has said about the sky event. I thought, because I think everyone's getting excited, but I do believe that could just be, well, it would be nice if it was actually a sky event, like I said in the last video, of actually technology that we've had for a while, but it's been hidden from us. You know, like new sort of flying vehicles, or a new sort of designer plane, aeroplane, or fighter jets, or whatever. Because I do believe they're out there, even if they're like, what they called, saucer shaped. Because maybe we've had technology out years back, and when people think they've seen them in the sky, they've said they were aliens and they were flying saucers because maybe they were military And then the military have tried to cover it up because, you know, what is going on in Area 51? I've seen lots of people, because don't get me wrong, I know there's people out there talking rubbish for clickbait and stuff like that, but some of the videos I've seen, I'm like, especially the ones in Antarctica or wherever, where apparently in the World War II with Hitler and that, there was technologies hidden down there, or, you know, strange things, technologies, flying saucer sort of shaped ship that they brought out. So maybe when they fly them and people have seen them, then they go, no, it's just a conspiracy. No, 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 you didn't see that. It was something else. You know, there's been lots of weird lights in the sky over time that people have recorded. So they definitely hide stuff from us. They don't want us to know that they're either, they've got something to use on us, because if it's these elites at the minute, I believe they've had, you know, I've heard of the CERN machine and HARP and all these different things, and there's all this stuff out there, and it's hard to know what's what, but it just doesn't surprise me. That's what I mean. Everyone thinks he abandoned, the knowledge from World War II. Everyone thinks, you know, we sort of won that, but really, I think of what I've seen, Hitler went underground with some of the Nazis, and they went to win us a different way with technologies that are out today. You know, like the microwave stuff we have out now, the way the Wi-Fi, things that have built up over time. No, we didn't win World War II. We thought we did. We thought we did. But as the video I saw, they took their army gear off, uniform, and they went in business uniform, because they went to do it through, you know, like getting us a different way, depopulate us in a different way, which they've been doing through certain wars, food, water, chemtrails, all this stuff to do to us, big pharma and everything, to kill us off that way, without us really knowing about it. But we do know about it now. A lot of us do anyway. But yeah, I just think with the Space Force coming in America anyway, I just think that's brilliant, because that could be such a defense to help the globe, not just America, to help the globe, you know, a bit like Star Wars, the film, you know, with stormtroopers and all the, you know, fight it out in space sort of thing, or whatever, if we ever had to, less casualties on Earth, or, you know, and just new things that we might be able to find in space that we could actually use on the planet, or, you know, to help us as well, would just be really good. Because I also heard things that years back, did Neil Armstrong land on the moon? Did he? And the only one thing I hate about NASA recently is when they always do the live NASA reporting from space live things. I'm not saying it's not true, but I always think, why do they always film it in a certain angle where you only see, like, if that's my hand there, like that much of it? And they never really move from that position. And they'll put the hand on the camera so you can see it's an astronaut, you know, with his glove on. And then they'll turn it around to him and he's there with his helmet on and all that. And I've also seen a lot of videos with saying that they've done it underwater. There's been bubbles on the video where they've tried to take it off because they're doing it underwater. And I've seen some videos where some of the women's hair look like it's been backcombed to stick up. So you just don't know what's true this day and age, because you just don't know. If we've been lied to about history, we could have been lied to about anything going to space at that time. Doesn't mean we're not there now or whatever, but maybe at that time it wasn't really at that time. Maybe it was just a ploy to make us look like we got there to get one over on, you know, a space race with other people. I don't know, but I don't know, it just makes me laugh when I've seen a few NASA live videos, and I just think, why can't you show all of it? Why can't you? Why is it always like a little bit in the corner like that and it doesn't show you? And it just seems to be full of cloud all the time, like you can't really see much. I don't know, and like in space, inside the space stations, would they have all their wires hanging out everywhere and certain, I don't know. But that might be just me thinking that. I don't know. I've just seen that many videos on different things. But the pyramids do intrigue me. And I think, I mean, if I've got, let me go and get it. I've got a big crystal somewhere, so I need to put my water in one of these as well because it keeps it cool. Copper. I have to go outside now. Thanks for the company. It's all right. I don't know who's listening. But this crystal, I've just nearly smashed on the floor. This crystal, jumping out of my hand. I've got a lot of crystals, but when I used to use this, people they say that it's a conductor, you know, because you've got the sort of pyramid shape on top. So if that was a conductor to have a point on it, was the pyramids a conductor? You know, why did they build them? Why were they built in, you know, the pyramid shape pointing to the sky, the stars or whatever? I mean, some people will say when they were being buried and they took all the gold with them, which didn't really work because they didn't take it with them, did they? Because it got stolen. I've seen a lot of videos on that as well. It got stolen, all the gold. You know, was it to be closer to what they thought their gods were at the time? Because obviously it's, you know, it's a pyramid and it's pointing up to the sky, up to God, up to source, up to consciousness, whatever they believed in. Or was it actually, were we just sort of told that because there's these big things there that are there and it's like we can't really hide these massive pyramids from people, so we're going to say it was this, this and this. Put some whiskey in it. Oh, I don't really drink that. My coffee actually has got a bit of caramelly alcoholic thing in it, which I don't normally have, but you know, have they just told, I'm not saying this is true, I'm just saying, have they told us this? Because if there's pyramids around the world and they are massive, they can't exactly hide them from us, can they? So they've had to say this, this and this. And were some of the scriptures on the wall sort of, you know, modified to look like something that maybe the story was telling us something else? Was the actual pyramid a conductor for free energy that they used to use way back because they had more intelligence than we did, probably still now, back then? Because we always get told that, you know, we came from apes or whatever, we did this, you know, and we evolved after time. But actually, were we actually, or were they actually more intelligent then? And we've just been told we sort of evolved from what we evolved from, when I actually think we evolved from up there. I don't think we evolved the way. If everything's the wrong way around and upside down and we get told lies and history's been lied about, then why not? If they're saying we're from the way we came, maybe we came from the stars and we got scattered everywhere. Yeah, our history, I know for definite history's a lie. Well, even when they go on about the Crusades and certain stuff, everything's upside down, inside out, the opposite to what you think it is, to keep people divided, like I've talked about before, and just keep people off the scent of where we all really came from. Somebody said in a video, I quite like this idea, whether people just think it's nuts, real or not, is where I said we all came from stars, different solar systems, different planets, different star systems, and got scattered. So if there was different star systems we got scattered from, that's why there's different races on Earth, because we came from different star systems. I've heard that as well. I quite like that. But to me, That's a conductor for energy. When I used to do like crystal boards, like an energy board, you could put crystals on. They said put the crystal in the middle because this is the conductor. With it has to have a prism point, a point on top of it because that's the conductor facing up. And it's just funny that and it's a bit like churches and stuff like that have a point up. Certain things have a point up or are built up very high, as if they're trying to reach somewhere, you know what I mean? So it does make you think, because when you've seen inside the pyramids, a lot of videos that I've seen when they have all these like narrow sort of, what do you call them, tunnels, and I watched something on it where they had little lines, something to do with water. Someone said before about the pools of uranium, was it? The pools of whatever it was. Was it a conductor for energy? Sounds like it could be. So we've been lied about all this time. We've got free energy we don't even need to be paying for because it's free. But no, we have to keep paying because they just want us to be paying for everything. But it's interesting. I need to find some more videos on it. If anyone's got any good videos to put on about stuff I've been talking about, you'll have to leave it in the comments. But yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if I'm on the right lines of anything. I'm just saying there's certain things I've seen, on YouTube, people's videos, and certain things that I just think, that's interesting. And really, if you think about it, if you just get everything out we've been told in history to us and think outside the box, because I always think outside the box. I don't think I've ever been in it. It's more exciting and fun to think outside the box. Even if you're just thinking, yeah, I can see where someone's coming from. I could see that actually working. And it does make sense, it does make sense. It's, and that's all I hear about is we've had free energy. We have got free energy. Everything over time has been made us to think that we have to pay for stuff, like I was saying the other day about herbs from the ground, for medicines, stuff's given us in the ground through plants and certain stuff. Hiya, Dad. Yeah, Tesla and Trump's uncle. Oh, was it Trump's uncle? Yeah, it was Trump's uncle, wasn't it? Yeah, Tesla. So it's interesting. What do you think, Dad, about pyramids? Because they've been harping on to me, Dad, about pyramids and keep seeing pyramids and pyramids this and pyramids that. But I don't know. Because the Fifth Element, I think that at the end of that film, they were at the pyramids, and Stargate, funny enough, Stargate, they always went to the pyramids, didn't they? And of what I remember in them series, they always went to the pyramids and stuff. I quite like that. I'd like to watch that again, Stargate, actually. Because they do say, if you notice, there's a lot of films out there that are putting stuff out there that you talk about. Oh, I know, I would check my WhatsApp, Dad, but it's on screen, and I got a few before with friends. Don't know if it'll come up. Let me have a look. Ta-da. No, it's not on there at the minute, but... So while you're there, Dad, what do you think about pyramids? We were just talking before and someone was saying that, because I've heard this before, about free energy. Free energy in pyramids could have been a conductor when you look into it for free energy. Electric, a conductor. Because I have heard that before. And I've seen videos with there were certain things in the pyramids that look like what they were used for. Free. And does anyone know what that is? Because it is from outer space, apparently. A meteorite called, I don't know what stone it is. I can't remember. It's green anyway. No, and it's not kryptonite before anyone says anything. I've had it a while. Can't remember what it's called. But I'm gonna go, and if anyone's got any good videos for me to watch it. But what I was gonna say before I went, I think, show something about Trump, was Wang Doodle. And but I definitely do believe we've got hidden technologies. But oh yeah, I was just watching. Who was it? Farage saying, I think it was today on a video on his channel. I can't remember what his channel's called. Trump coming to visit the Queen. Oh yes, he's coming to visit the Queen. I don't think there'll be some MPs that sort of said no, he can't visit the Queen, but yes, he can, because the Queen's had Arab leaders at Buckingham Palace. She's had many of people at Buckingham Palace. I'm sure Obama's met her, so Trump can meet her too. He's actually half Scottish. Trump. Was it his mother, or was it his grandmother who was Scottish? I have seen Backyard Brawl. I've not seen the latest, but I've seen the Arizona thing and all that. Yes, I have. And he's coming over next month, and I don't think Khan's going to be chuffed about that either, because apparently he didn't want him coming. I don't know why he doesn't want Trump coming, but I do believe Trump may have a little word with the Queenie. I do think he's going to have a bit of a talk. And despite what some people think, I think Trump's going to get a welcome, because a lot of people in the UK love Trump. A lot of people don't, but we know why they don't. And he was asking some people about Trump, and he was saying about the I shouldn't laugh, the children being taken away from their families, when what they don't realise is he signed the executive order for that, to keep the families together. Because they were moaning about that anyway, all the reporters and that, weren't they? They were moaning about it, saying, how dare you, keeping the families apart. The families can't be apart. Well, he's going to keep them together, and now they're moaning that they're going to stay together, but you can't keep them together in the, what they call the migrant camps or whatever. But it's like, no, he's going to keep the families together while it gets sorted out whether they should be there, if they're coming for asylum, or if they're being charged for being there illegally. So, and it wasn't Trump's administration that changed all that about letting people over the borders and the rules that went with that. It was Obama and Hillary. But, in the mainstream media, they have to keep saying it's Trump. But we all know it isn't, and it's gonna, well, for those of you still asleep, it's coming out soon for you all to see anyway, exactly who was separating the children. Sadiq Khan was the lawyer who assisted, I can't say his name, Majid Awaz something. What was that about Egypt? After he was jailed in Egypt on terrorist charges. Oh, there's Egypt coming up again. Exactly. He was the lawyer, so he shouldn't even be mayor of London. That's probably why he's not happy about Trump coming over. But yeah, if anyone's got any good videos about Egypt and these sort of energy, free energy sort of videos, stick them in the comments after, and I shall see you later. Or over on We the People 24/7 Soapbox, if anyone's going over there now. And if you haven't, go and check it out, We the People 24/7 Soapbox. And if you want to get on the QAnon phenomenon, they do all the Q drops on there. The Q drops, if you don't know what the Q drops are, maybe you can come on, watch chat, and you might learn a few things and it might be a bit confusing at first, but then you might actually get into it and realise what is actually going on in the world today. But yeah, I do believe tonight I think we're gonna get more Q drops. I think tomorrow will, because Fridays are always good for Q to drop. I think the weekend's gonna be bonkers. I think there's gonna be more of these, door knobbing suicide things. But yeah, because, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was summer solstice today, longest day of the year. It wasn't a Q drop. I can't remember. It said dark to light. We all know that's coming out. And something about heat, because we know they've got the heat on them and everything. And the only other thing I want to say is hashtag free Tommy, hashtag Melanie, I think it was Melanie, hashtag QAnon, hashtag, let me get it right, hashtag Wang Doodle, and hashtag freedom for humanity. And I'll see you soon. Bye.